I get it. You're scrolling through endless monitor options, wondering if you're about to drop a chunk of your budget on something that will just sit there gathering dust. You've probably heard the hype about ultra-wide screens, but you also know that a 49-inch panel isn't a magic bullet. It can be a game changer or a space eater depending on how you plan to use it. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I started looking at the LG 49BQ95C, the first thing that stuck with me was the promise of a single-pane workspace that can replace a dual-monitor setup. That's a real draw for anyone juggling spreadsheets, email, and a chat window at the same time. At the same time, the fear of a massive screen that ends up being more of a visual wall than a productivity boost kept me digging deeper. The core question became, does this monitor actually deliver on that promise without forcing you into awkward ergonomics or compromising on visual quality? Let's break it down by the situations where this monitor shines and where it might leave you wishing you'd chosen something smaller. First, the size. A 49-inch display with a 32:9 aspect ratio essentially gives you two 27-inch screens side by side, but without the bezels that can distract you when you move your mouse across. If you're a content creator, a data analyst, or even a gamer who likes to keep a game window on one side while monitoring streams or Discord on the other, this layout can cut down on the time you spend alt-tabbing. In my own test setup, I placed the monitor on a desk that's about a foot deep, raised it with its height-adjustable stand, and found that I could keep my eyes level with the top third of the screen while still seeing the lower quarter without straining. That tilt and swivel capability is a subtle but crucial feature. Once you get the screen up to the right height, you can angle it just enough to match your natural line of sight, which many people overlook when they go straight for a massive panel. Now, the picture quality. The LG 49BQ95C supports HDR 400, which means it can hit a peak brightness of 400 nits. In a bright office with windows, that extra punch helps keep colors from looking washed out, especially when you're reviewing high-resolution images or video. The panel also supports picture-by-picture, PBP, and on-screen control, OSC, allowing you to split the screen into separate inputs or manage settings without digging through menus. I tried connecting a laptop on one side and a desktop on the other, and the PBP mode let me treat each half as an independent display, handy when you need to reference a PDF on one side while coding on the other. The OSC overlay was responsive enough that I could tweak contrast and color temperature on the fly while working, which is a small convenience that adds up over a long day. On the downside, the resolution isn't the ultra-high 5K you might expect from a screen that large. It's a 5120x1440 panel, which translates to a pixel density of around 109 ppi. That's fine for most productivity tasks, but if you're a photo editor who needs pixel-perfect detail, you'll notice a slight softness compared to a 27-inch 4K monitor. The trade-off here is space versus pixel density. LG chose to give you a broader canvas, which works for multitasking but isn't a substitute for a dedicated high-resolution monitor when fine detail matters. Another practical consideration is desk space. Even though the stand is sturdy and offers height, tilt, and swivel, the footprint is sizable. I measured the base, and it occupies roughly the same area as two 27-inch monitors side by side. If you have a compact desk or a standing workstation, you might need to think about a VESA mount. The monitor is VESA compatible, but you'll need a heavy-duty arm that can handle the weight around 20 pounds. That extra cost can push the overall investment higher than the list price alone. Speaking of price, the value proposition comes from the reduction in cable clutter and the ability to replace a dual monitor setup with a single unit. You only need one power cable, a couple of video inputs, and a USB hub if you want to plug peripherals directly into the monitor. That can simplify a home office, especially for those who are constantly plugging and unplugging devices. The integrated USB-C port, if you have the right model, can even deliver power to a laptop, cutting down on desk mess. Who should buy this? If you're a professional who lives in a multitasking world, think financial analysts, video editors, software developers, or streamers who need a dashboard while gaming. This monitor can become the centerpiece of your workflow. It's also a solid pick for a family media hub. Set the left side to a streaming service and the right side to a console, and you can enjoy split-screen viewing without needing a TV. The ergonomic adjustments make it workable for long sessions, and the HDR 400 gives a decent pop for movies and games. Who should skip it? If your primary use is gaming.